how did Native Americans arrive in America? What's their ancestry? And yeah, how look, there's multiple theories about that. Okay, how did Native Americans arrive in America? Um, for the longest time, there was this theory that 13,000 years ago, the Native Americans arrived in America from the Bering Strait. So let's go to the map and let me show you what I'm talking about. Where's the map? So we have just come out of an ice age. The last ice age ended about roughly 10, 11,000 years ago. Okay, and then the world started getting warmer. But if you the pinnacle of the last ice age was about 13,000 years ago, and it started about 20,000 or so years ago. So you know, 20,000 to 10,000 years before today, the world was a very different place. It was much colder. The sea levels were much lower than what they are today. And for example, Sri Lanka was connected to the Indian subcontinent. It was part of the subcontinent. It was not a separate island. The all this entire region was also connected to Asia. You know, the Indonesia region, Philippines region, all of that. Because it was a much colder world, there was much more ice in the world, which means the ocean levels were much lower. And at that time, about 13,000 years ago, this region was frozen over. So the Bering Strait was frozen over, and this region also was frozen over, which means there was a land connection between easternmost Asia and Alaska, right? And that's why it is believed that people from Eastern Asia, the Siberian people, they were able to just walk into Alaska, and then over time they started migrating southwards as the ice started melting over time, and eventually they ended up all the way down south through the southernmost extremities of South America. So it was believed for the longest time that this first influx of people into the Americas happened 13,000 or so years ago. And there are some archaeological discoveries that kind of bolstered this theory. But now we have discovered new archaeological sites in southern Chile, etc., that also date from 13,000 years ago, which completely destroys this theory that humans entered the Americas only 13,000 years ago. So now it's believed maybe it happened 20,000 years ago, maybe 30,000 years ago. We're not quite sure. It's still a work in progress. Now, what's the ancestry of the Native Americans? The ancestry is probably Eastern Asian, or more specifically, Siberian people. The closest relatives of the Native Americans are the people who are called the Siberian peoples, who live in Siberia, the the northeast part of Asia, very cold region, Sakhalin, Kamchatka, Siberia, all of that region. So there's a significant genetic similarities between the Native Americans and the Siberian people.